Oh man, I ain't never really liked that song.
It's not that great.
I think it's too much for church.
It is a little bit much.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, what happened to the tambourine and the organ?
I just have no idea.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't hear that at all in that song. You don't hear no organ.
I don't hear the organ. I don't hear the tambourine.
You don't hear no tambourine.
I think it's sacrilegious to have a gospel song without a tambourine.
Yes. I think that if he don't go back and redo it with just a tambourine and organ,
he's going straight to hell.
He ain't gonna make it in. You called me. That was good. You called me. I was trying to hang in there with you. That is funny.
Me and my brother love this song because my dad's nickname is Stomp.
Oh, you serious?
So we would always say, "What's your daddy name, Stomp?"
Because he little? Is it because he little?
Yeah, I think he played ball for Prairie View A&M.
Did he?
And he was a little man, and I guess like a stomp.
Was he little like me? Like is he taller, big?
No, he's about a little bit taller than you, but he's bigger than you.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like not much taller, but bigger.
So
but he's a little older now. So
if he was a stump, then what do you think I would be?
What's low? I don't know what's lower than a stump.
A nub? Would I be a nub? A stool?
A toadstool. That's just horrific.
I think I prefer nub.
Right. I don't know where that one came
Kirk
from.
Franklin, a.k.a. Nub. That's funny.
Man.
This is good.
I talked to you before, and you said you didn't like to be. You said people call you Pastor Franklin and Brother Kirk. And you don't really like all that,
my name
right?
Kirk. My name Kirk. Brother Kirk.
Brother Kirk. Brother Kirk. But do people address you that way?
Probably.
Not all the time. While the smooth jazz plays. No, it's all good. You can play the smooth jazz.
I was trying to get it crunk, but okay.
Let's play. This is Brother Nub. Time for the smooth jazz.
Hold on, I got you. Wait a minute. No, give it to me. Give me some smooth jazz.
Okay.
Give it to me.
Oh, this is Brother Nub. This is for all the Christians that want to be nice and cozy tonight. I want you to take the prayer oil and I want you to rub it all over her knees. Yes. I want you to take the prayer cloth and I want you to cover up your drawers, even if you got big drawers on. Because tonight we're going to read Leviticus, the whole book, the whole long book of Leviticus.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm back.
Okay, I'm turning off the Barry White.
You can play whatever you want to. It was just funny when the smooth jazz kicked in. I wasn't ready for it. I was ready for it. You remember the blue light you used to have in your bedroom?
Kirk, I didn't have no blue light in my bedroom.
You didn't have a red light when you was a kid?
What you got?
When you was young, you know how you try to put them little color lights. You know what? Never mind. Don't be trying to have me out there by myself. Somebody listening had a color light in their house.
I did. I had a red light.
Thank you. Don't do me like that.
I had a red light. Okay, I'm gonna leave you alone.
Don't have me out there by myself.
But and I also talked to my boyfriends on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, with the long cord.
What you doing?
Wrapped it around me. You know.
Tell me. You sleep? You sleep? Don't go sleep yet. Stay on phone.
I'm not asleep.
What you doing now?
I was just sitting here looking at the TV.
You so crazy.
Stop, boy.
See, these kids don't know nothing about that.
No, that was me last night.
These kids don't know nothing about that, though.
They have no clue. They're texting. But there's something about the tone in your voice. There's something about when you speak to a person.
Yes.
And you get to hear them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There's something about that.
And it gives you that sweat right above your top lip.
I think I have it now. I think he was hitting or he was throwing shade. One or the other.
No. This is wonderful. This is great.
Do people like don't you just want to be regular sometimes? Like, do people always hit you with the gospel stuff?
I make myself regular. Like I don't posture myself in that that way, so people don't approach me like I'm going to be intentionally regular. So I'm going to create like an environment of regular. Like, for example, we have some people in the other room that come up here to see me, right?
Yeah.
Well, I ran in the room and like started twerking.
Did you twerk?
Well, as I did my best version of twerk.
Twerk when you walked in this room.
Well, as I was tired after I did that twerk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was just a limited twerk. It was, it was like first service twerk.
Oh,
service twerk. Like every third Sunday, first Sunday twerk.
Right,
and, like it ain't much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not doing an 11 a.m.
Not the 11. No. That's for other people to do. Really? Is I try to save mine. Like I gotta spread mine out because I'm not a big man. I'm not that tall. I'm kind of nubby. So, it takes a lot of oxygen for me to do.
I saw you. I watched you on Devon Franklin.
Yeah.
Devon Franklin did I don't know. I got too much going on.
You got smooth jazz and I smile. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to say nothing.
Tammi Mac, look,
I didn't know if that's something new y'all do out here in L.A. I didn't know if that's what y'all do. Like y'all just play chaos.
I do start trends. I am a trendsetter. I am a trendsetter.
That was great.
I watched you on Devon Franklin's. What were y'all FaceTiming?
Yeah. It was like these little things that he'll do with guys talking about relationships, sexuality, and marriage.
And you were way too transparent for me.
Was I too?
I was like, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be watching this. Like I felt like
really.
I felt like. Do you know? Like they say
it was too transparent.
They say Facebook has this thing where you call people and the FaceTime comes up when it's not supposed to come up. That's how I felt. I was like, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be in on this conversation.
Really?
Now, I'm not saying it was a bad thing.
Really?
Because the people who were commenting they kept saying how much they loved your transparency.
Right.
And I was like, y'all just being nosy. Y'all don't know this transparency. Y'all know he don't have no business.
So that gave you like this. They gave you like that little top lip sweat.
That gave me that top lip. I got it again.
Really? No.
Okay.
No, I just think that marriages and relationships have to have the whole story to be able to survive. I think that we paint the beautiful pre-marriage picture with the white dress and the doves and the little flowers and the little children walking down the aisle, and then you get into it and you're hit with so many different challenges and you feel like that you were lied to or that you didn't get the full contract that you signed. And so I think that it's very important for somebody like me, by God's grace. I've been married to an incredible woman now for 23 years, and she's phenomenal. And I think that it's important to talk about how God has done that, because he's done it through a lot of breaking and a lot of storms and dark nights and a lot of me coming to the place of being able to face my own demons. And so like this is how I think about it, baby girl. If you have a key and you're walking past these cells that are locked and men are behind these cells and they can't get out, and you have a key in your pocket, but you're afraid to show it because you're afraid of what they're going to say and what they think, do you just leave with the key or do you use it to set all these other men free? And so I think that we only heal when we reveal.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's important.
Reverend Al Sharpton said a mirror is not only for reflection, it's for correction.
That's good.
So if you're looking in the mirror and you see something wrong with yourself, you don't just walk away.
Yeah.
You say, oh, hold on, let me fix that strand in my hair.
Now, was that Big Al or Little Al?
That was Big Al. Big Al, yeah.
Big Al.
Only Big Al came up with those. Little Al don't cut. He don't give you no good ones.
Little Al don't do that much no more.
No.
Yeah, Big Al used to give you them nuggets.
Oh, man, Big Al was the one.
Little Al too cute.
He too busy doing selfies.
He too busy doing selfies.
I can't listen to Little Al.
With them little legs.
Right, with them little legs. He's the nub. All respect to Brother Al Shaw.
But it's all about your man in the back said, let it go.
So our listeners, when they found out you were coming on, they loved you and your wife, Tammi, since you were talking about, they loved you both on Black Love.
Oh, wow. She's the homie.
Yeah, so
Tammy's the homie.
They said, hey, can you ask Kirk Franklin about Black Love and the girls he used to date while dating his wife? Or
While
something like that. I mean,
wife.
before his wife was his wife.
Oh, yeah.
I got the story all wrong, Kirk.
No, because I didn't date
rumors.
I didn't date any girls while I was dating my own wife. So okay, let me make sure I get this clear.
Okay.
They want to know about the girls I dated before I married my wife?
Yeah, there's a story in Black Love where I think Tammi is talking about.
And she called me a hoe. She said I was a hoe.
Well, she called the women hoes, then corrected it, and said that you was the hoe.
Yeah,
right.
She said. She was so cool. At least she could have said whore. You know,
I felt like she said whore.
No, she didn't.
Did she say hoe?
She said hoe. HOE. She said hoe. I felt
like she said whores.
No. My queen said that I was a hoe.
Well, was your queen correct?
Man, this is a beautiful studio.
Okay.
But what is the? I'm still trying to get what is the question.
I guess there's a story where you were trying to decide between someone else and Tammi.
No.
That wasn't it either.
No,
okay, so you know the story better than I do.
Basically, Kirk. she when we started dating and getting serious, her thing was she said, "Don't let anybody tell me anything that you can't tell me. Don't let me run into any surprises. You be the one to let me know anything if there's anything I need to know." And then she said, and then when I asked her to marry me, or when I knew I wanted to get married, she said to me that I know that you've had relationships before I got here, and I just want to make sure that there's nothing that will continue. And so she lovingly challenged me to go to my past relationships, or relationships that I was still having up until that point, and I had to make it right. And I think what was so hurtful for me is the revelation of how kind of wrong I was living. That the fact that I had to go do that.
Did you do it? Did you actually call women?
No, I didn't call, but I went to go see them.
Face to face?
Yes. Out of respect, I think that the phone call was.
And did they say, "Okay, I'll meet you"?
Well, first of all, we're like 24 years. Because
I'm thinking I don't want to talk to you if you broke up with me.
These were not all girlfriends. These were sometimes just relationships that were not proper relationships to continue to have.
Oh, I got you.
When it's time to get married, you would probably call them, and this is a hard word, but like jump offs or booty calls, or just
side piece.
Just all these things, and that's not a part of my life that I'm very proud of, because when you have to do that, you realize how raggedy your life was. And, and I'm up doing, God's music, but I'm 24 years old. I ain't got it's not a lot of blueprints. And the world and the community that I came from, even the church community, that's kind of what men did. Men had, relationships with quite a few women. And I knew that it was not a right thing to do. You just don't have anybody to model to show you better. And so I knew that I had to go make these situations right. And it was very hard, because there were young ladies that I was hurting, not having a serious relationship with them, but only having this, late night phone casual sexual relationships with. And so I had to go now to these relationships and talk about how I'm going to try to settle down and be serious with this other young lady, because I understood now later on, just as a man, that most of the time women don't lay with a man the way that a man lays with a woman, that a woman still lays with a man with a heart, or maybe with the possibility, or maybe with the potential. And I was not always in that mindset. And so to have to go now and to humbly ask for forgiveness and to acknowledge that my lifestyle with you was not right and I was misleading you, and and that was very difficult to do.
Did most of them forgive you, or did most of them think it was bullcrap?
It didn't always go well. It didn't go well. No, it didn't. There were people, there were young ladies that, that I hurt, and that's it's a very embarrassing way to live as a young man, when you realize how ragged it was. And I hate that. That is a part of my life that I hate, that I never really had the right tools to know how to love the right way, and so, and then the young early success that I had in my career also then exposed me, sometimes to people that, or maybe relationships that maybe that's all they wanted too. So, sometimes you exacerbate the problem now, because, there's a little, whatever you call popularity or whatever. And so, you're kind of living in all that place. Yeah. And that's why I'm an advocate of being a father. It's men have to have something to model. Just think about it for example. Every Sunday in the fall in the United States of America, you have grown men walking around with other men's names on their back. Think about it. During football season,
yes, you do.
Men pick up football jerseys of men that they admire and will walk around with another man's name on their back. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Right.
I'm just saying how much men aspire and admire men that are doing something. That's why it's so important for a father to be present in his son's life or a young man's life, because young boys, young men have to have something to model. They have to have something that they can visual, because men are visual, something they can see and aspire to be. And when you come from a community that did not have that, as I continued a lot of mistakes, because my father was not there for me. Right. My grandfather was in prison for murder, and he was what those folks call, he was a whoremonger. And my biological father, who I'm quite sure you heard about the story about, I got a call by my biological father that was dying, and I went to go see him, and I was full of anger and rage. And he told me, he's facing death. He had other kids, and he said to me, and I wasn't a good father to them either.
Did that change your anger and rage?
Yes. It's what I had to do also is I think that when I went to go see him is I still had a little bit of that little boy in me.
Right.
And I was really hoping, and it's not fair to him, but I was really hoping that when I saw him and I was telling him about my hurt, because I told him, this is what I said to him. I said, by God's grace, at the time it was like 12 Grammys, by God's grace, I got 12 Grammys. I'm told that I'm the biggest selling gospel artist in history, yada, 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 crappity. But I'm the most insecure man in the room at all times because I never had you to tell me who I was. And he looked at me and he said, I can understand that. But what I needed was for him to grab me and say, son, I'm so sorry that I didn't give you that. As I needed for him to grab my head and to hold it close to his forehead and look at me in the eyes and say, I am so sorry. And he didn't do that. That was not in his nature to do. That's more of my nature, is I do that with my kids. Right. But I needed that and I didn't get it.
Do you do it because you know you needed it?
I do it because it's in me, and it's probably in me because I never had it.
Right.
So I'm always giving them what I wish I had. So yeah, that was so whether it was being very promiscuous, which I'm very open about, as I talk about being very promiscuous, talk about pornography, I talk about, having hate in my heart.
You are very transparent. And I think that's why people like you so much. I think that's why we love Kirk Franklin, and because we don't feel like when we're listening to your music, we don't feel like we're listening to a hypocrite.
Well, you're listening to somebody that's far from perfect, but you listen to somebody who works his butt off every day to chase God, man. And that's what I'm striving to do. And I heal as I reveal, and I'm changed as I chase. I don't want to be that dude, man, to be doing. But man, come on, I think people got to understand, man, that so many people don't believe in God because of what they've seen from us.
Yes.
And I think that we lie to ourselves if we don't admit that people, whether and it's not just church hurt. Like, I'm not talking about church. I'm talking about what they've seen outside of the church, because we have not always had the spirit of the love of Jesus when we see people and how we live for them in front of people. So for me, I want to be that dude to say, man, don't follow me and do not support me if you see my life not lining up with what you say that you want to believe.
Got it.
Don't just follow me because I say that I'm a church dude. No. You got to look at my fruit.
Absolutely.
Because that's the only way you know what kind of tree I am. It's by the fruit I bear.
Well, we know that fruit of Kirk Franklin's music is falling, and it's falling today. Love Theory. We're going to play it when we come back.
How would you like to make an extra $1,200 to $700?